Welcome back to McPhee Ford. Today we're taking a look at this pre-owned 2017 Ford Shelby GT350. This particular GT350 is finished in magnetic gray metallic. It also has the black and white accented racing stripe. And we're going to take a quick walk around the outside of this particular one here, then we'll hop into the interior. We'll first start with the front end, where we do have an HID projector headlight with the signature Mustang LED kind of accent lighting there too. It looks super good. And these Shelbys do have unique front ends compared to a regular Mustang, much more aggressively styled. And there's a little hidden Shelby logo there in the lower lip. And we'll come around to the side here. With the GT350, we do have these 19-inch aluminum wheels, and that's wrapped in a 295/30 Michelin Super Sport tire, and the rear tires are slightly wider at a 305 width. We do have these 6-piston Brembo brakes, massive brakes. Of course, you have incredible stopping power on these Brembo brakes, especially with the sticky Michelin tires. There's your GT350 badge there on the side of the fender. Nice gloss black mirrors, which also feature the side indicator. Of course, is the fastback model. It was only offered as a fastback. You could not get a convertible in the Shelby model. You also have the raised deck lid spoiler. And then we'll come around to the back end here. We do have a active valve quad tip performance exhaust. And of course, that stripe does carry all the way to the back end here. Nice LED taillight. It has the sequential turn. There's your GT350 logo there with the rear view camera just above it. And powering the GT350 is a 5.2-liter naturally aspirated V8, which uses a flat plane crank. Now, if you're not familiar with that, it means that this revs really high. It revs all the way to 8,300 RPM, so it's a very high revving engine. And it's actually a technology used in a lot of Ferraris, which is why they rev so high. So it's a nice high revving engine, makes 526 horsepower and 429 foot-pounds of torque. And this is paired to a Tremec 6-speed manual transmission, which is a beautifully crafted transmission. Ford did partner with Tremec to build a transmission specifically for this car. And again, 6-speed manual, which is actually the only option available for these GT350s, which is definitely a good idea. You have a nice Ford Performance strut tower base, and there are a lot of Shelby specific parts. Of course, you get your intake here, which is a nice open air intake, and then of course you have the active valve exhaust as well. I'll take a look into the interior of this GT350. Now, there were actually two different seat options for these Shelbys. There was the Recaro seat option like we have here, and there was a more kind of bucket seat option. But the Recaros were definitely more desirable. They are much more bolstered, and it kind of keeps you in place. And they are also Alcantara, so they are grippy, they're lightweight, and they're also very breathable. So it's a nice seat, very comfortable. Has your GT350 stitching there on the headrest. And even on the door panel, we have more Alcantara suede on the door panel. Nice white stitching as well. Of course, power controls right here. You also have automatic headlights. Nice Ford Performance door silk light. But we'll step inside here. Take a look at the key fob. This is a keyless fob. We do have a little Shelby, little snake there on the back. It has the trunk release on there. And of course, push button start. So again, powered by the 5.2-liter flat plane crank V8, 526 horsepower, 429 torque. So you have a very quick car. And again, it's paired to that Tremec 6-speed manual. Beautifully shifting transmission. It's great for sure. Now, on the steering wheel, it's also Alcantara wrap, just like the seat. It's again just very grippy. It kind of helps retain the grip if you're on a racetrack. It helps retain grip if your hands get sweaty. So it's a nice lightweight material. And we also have a little 12 o'clock position right there as well. On this left side, you've got controls for the center gauge cluster screen. Now, there's a lot of little information that you can go through on the screen, but we'll kind of run through some of the cool stuff here. You have your gauge mode. You also have track apps, so you can go into here and view the line lock system. There's a launch control system. You can change the exhaust modes. You have a shift light. You have acceleration timers, lap timers, brake time. You got a whole bunch of timers in there. And you can also scroll through gauge details. You can basically see any type of measurement you could ever need. And the Mustang will show you So you got a lot of cool information there. And then you got your phone controls, you got your volume, as well as your drive modes, steering modes, and suspension modes. So those are all changed. You can do them individually, or you can just use your drive modes and it will kind of do it once. So it's super cool there. You got a whole bunch of drive modes: normal, sport, weather, track, and drag strip. So again, it'll kind of change all of them based on which one you're in. And then in the middle is where we're going to find the Sync 3 8-inch display. And we're currently in the home screen here, so you have your navigation there, you got your radio, phone. You can also access the climate control through the screen, or you can use the buttons down here, so whichever you prefer. And it is dual zone as well, so you have dual zone climate. Of course, you got your air conditioning, all that. There's also Apple CarPlay and Android Auto built into the screen. Various different settings in there. This one has the auxiliary gauge pack, which actually came standard on all Shelbys. So you have the oil pressure and also the oil temperature right there. And then moving down a little bit, this is where you're going to find that nice red engine start stop button. You also have your hazard light, traction control, and then there's launch control as well as the exhaust modes. So you can cycle through between normal and sport exhaust, which definitely wakes it up quite a lot. Got your sync badging right there, shaker audio system. And again, that 6-speed manual. Manual parking brake, which is definitely nice to see. Got some cup holders, and each chassis was also numbered as well. So for 2017, this was number 5065, again for 2017. Now the Shelbys did come with rear seats. Most of them did have rear seats, and it includes this one. You can access that. You can just kind of fold that forward, and the seat will kind of tip forward for you. The material is very similar to the front. It's Alcantara again with that cloth material, very lightweight. And there also is a WeatherTech floor mat for the rear as well. You may have noticed there is one in the front. We have the WeatherTech floor mat in the front, and the previous owner also did buy the ones for the rear as well. So just to protect them a little bit. Now, of course, these are not a lot. There's not a huge amount of space back here. Most people don't use these for people. You know, you throw your bags back here or something like that. But they are back here in case you need them. You have 2 additional rear seats back here. But we'll come around to the trunk area. Last stop here. Little button underneath. Flip that open. This one includes a factory Shelby car cover, which is definitely nice. I believe it's an outdoor car cover, so that's definitely a nice addition there. And you also have the original carpeted floor mats back here as well. So if you're interested in this particular 2017 GT350, it is for sale here at McPhee Ford. You can either give us a call or visit us at mcpheeford.com. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.